All right, good morning, everybody. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's first of two gameplay streams. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well, and welcome to the streams once again on YouTube. I'm pleased to announce and/or say that yesterday went pretty well, except for tons of technical difficulties that weren't my fault. Here on YouTube, overall, the stream so far, people seem to be telling me they really enjoy the increase of quality, of visual quality, I should say, that you guys are getting here on YouTube with these new streams. People are saying that they really like how much better it looks. I'm now streaming at full 1080p 60 frames per second and a much higher bitrate than I was over on Twitch because YouTube allows me to. Twitch never did. And I think that in particular, when it comes to new releases, like today we're playing Returnal, right? A PS5 exclusive. Next month we'll be playing the new Ratchet and Clank. I think that the quality of the streams here on YouTube is really going to showcase what these new games are looking like on PlayStation 5, as opposed to over on Twitch where I was forced to stream at only 720p to get 60 frames because the bitrate was so low. That requirement was just so ridiculously low that I couldn't really showcase what the PS5 could do. You know, I was doing my best, but admittedly, when you're streaming at 720p on a new console, it's like, you know, you're totally limited. It really sucks. Okay? So, that being said, now things are a little different. And yesterday I was playing Near Replicant, and people were like, wow, this looks really good. Like, compared to what you were doing before, it's not pixelated or anything, you know, very high resolution or whatever. In fact, the only negative feedback that I've received is that my webcam now looks a lot more blurry. Because I'm doing 1080p resolution, my webcam, which is only 480p resolution, now looks a lot more blurry. Excuse me. Now, some people have asked me, can I up the quality of the webcam? And the answer is, quite frankly, no, I can't right now. Because doing what I'm doing right now, my processor, during times of lots of action on the screen during a game, my processor is going up to around 80% use on my computer. If I make that webcam any higher resolution, you're going to be pushing 90 to 100%, and the whole thing's going to crash. All right? So, that being said, excuse me. Oh my God, excuse me. That being said, you know, there's nothing I can really do right now. Long term, you know, upgrading my streaming equipment and doing, you know, upgrades and stuff. Yes, absolutely. I would like to upgrade stuff to get a better webcam, get better lighting and everything. Obviously, new chair, new laptop. These are all things that we've talked about that just haven't happened because of all these circumstances this year, right? So, for now, things are as they are, and sadly, there's just no way I'm really going to be able to up the resolution. The thing is, people are like, oh, it's your webcam, buy a new webcam. Actually, that's not the case. The webcam does up to 1080p. It's not a great webcam, by the way. I know that. It's not super crisp or whatever. It's a tiny little lens. It's a webcam I've had for a decade. But at the same time, if I even upgrade the quality at all, it's going to definitely use more CPU, and it's probably going to max out my settings, and everything's going to look like shit. All right? So it is what it is. Please just be patient. You don't want to see my ugly mug anyway. Seriously, why do you want to see me? I'm ugly. I'm disgusting. I'm a freak. I'm like Bigfoot here trying to stream. Can you imagine the smell in this room? I don't know why on earth you would want to see me. I don't know why anyone ever asked for face cam to begin with when I became a full-time streamer in 2017. I liked it when the camera was off. That way you had no idea what I looked like. You can imagine that I'm like, you know, some handsome prince like John Stamos or something, instead of, you know, this Yeti that's behind the camera streaming every day. It's absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, you know, we'll see what happens, but I think I'm okay. I think I'm good how we are, and you guys seem to like the improvements, which is good. Now, I actually have a few things that I've been discovering and people have been helping me try to figure out here with the YouTube streaming. So, one of the things that's been very different between YouTube and Twitch is that YouTube doesn't have a consistent chat room. Because, actually, if you guys aren't aware of this, YouTube doesn't have a chat room at all. You know, you guys right now that are talking on the stream chat, it's not a chat at all. Do you want to know what that is? that is a running comments section. Much like when you're on a YouTube video when people are posting comments, that's what you guys are doing right now. You're actually posting comments on this stream. You are not actually in an active chat room in any way, shape, or form. I know that sounds weird because it is, but YouTube never actually employed a freaking chat room. I don't know why. It's a no-brainer. You need a running chat, and they don't have it, which is why when my stream is offline, there's nowhere for you to sit around and talk with each other. Unlike Twitch, where that chat room is there 24/7, right? So, what I found out is that you can actually pre-schedule a stream, and when you pre-schedule a stream for a set time, then that chat room appears early. So, for example, tonight my stream is at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, and the late stream tonight is the return of new Pokemon Snap. It's my weekly session of the game, okay? After the stream ends, I can pre-schedule that stream, and as long as I set up all the settings and everything properly, you guys will be able to sit in the chat room and kind of talk with each other as a build-up to the stream. I didn't know that until this morning. So I think I may try to do that moving forward. Every time I finish a stream, set up the next stream ahead of time. So that way you guys can kind of chill out and talk about it and everything early, okay? So, we'll see if this works. I mean, you guys have been saying, man, it sucks that the chat kind of opens up last minute. And I agree with you. It's kind of like you got to be sitting around waiting for it to pop up at some point. You don't know when it's going to go live. This way, it'll be live way ahead of time. Okay? In addition, I didn't even know this till this morning either. I have been basically taking the individual stream addresses on the internet and posting them up at places, like on my Twitter, and saying, hey, the stream is live, here's the link. And it's like the specific link just to that stream. Okay? Well, guess what? You don't have to do that. Much like Twitch, you know, Twitch had a general thing. What was it? Twitch.tv/DarksidePhil. Well, there's actually a generalized link that you can use to go to all of my live streams. It's youtube.com/DSPGaming/live. Okay? Now, I didn't know about this, but that's good that there's a generalized link, because what I can do now is I can start using that as a way for people to come to the streams ahead of time. You know how in all my promotional artwork it used to say twitch.tv/DarksidePhil? Now it can be youtube.com/DSPGaming/live. Didn't know that till this morning. So, yesterday morning, I appealed to everyone and I said, hey guys, if you would like, please make some pre-stream artwork. Because a lot of my old pre-stream artwork all referenced the Twitch streams. And now we need to basically phase that out and let people know that I'm streaming over here on YouTube, right? Jasper Kitty is being very playful this morning. Silly guy. I gotcha. Anyway, yeah, so now, if you wanted to make some pre-stream artwork, which I would appreciate to have new artwork that caters to the YouTube stuff, you can use that. youtube.com/DSPGaming/live. That is the new link to go to live streams. And I'm going to use this link pretty much everywhere that I start advertising this stuff now. Okay? So whether that's Twitter, whether that's on the stream, on artwork, you know, wherever I post up about it or whatever, it's going to be using that link. So that's a new thing. Also, I am trying my best to figure out settings on the streams. So, for example, if I enable this thing that's called DVR, I believe what happens is that it allows you guys to not only watch the stream live, but you can actually rewind it and replay sections if you want. I think that's how it works. If I don't have DVR on, then you can't. So I think I've turned that on. And then also, I made it so that now the live stream archive will not be live after the stream goes off, because as you guys know, I like to record my streams and chop them up into you know, digestible parts of roughly about an hour long each and upload them to YouTube myself, rather than have the entire unedited stream on YouTube. Now, you might say, well, Phil, why do you do that? Why do you chop up your stream, and why don't you just leave the whole archive stream all there? You know, why don't you have the pre-stream music, the pre-stream itself, the breaks, the gameplay? Why not just have it all there live in one big chunk? There's two very good reasons why I don't want to do that. The first reason is because that's not digestible. Let's say, for example, someone is here only to see Returnal today. Well, do they want to fast forward through hours of pre-stream music, pre-stream chat, breaks? Of course not. They just want to see the Returnal gameplay, right? So why would I leave the entire archive live when tons of people don't want to see that? My streams are basically a lot of content altogether. It's not just gameplay. It's pre-stream. It's music. It's breaks. It's gameplay. It's all of that together, right? So who the hell would want that, right? Now, in addition to that, you guys are not aware of this, but I will talk about this publicly probably for the first time. As you guys know, I play music on my streams, but it's all remixes of my own commentary over games. All the music that I play here on the pre-stream and also on my breaks are fan remixes from over the last 10 to 12 years. In fact, a lot of them are like 10 years old from old school playthroughs that I did on YouTube. Okay? But what you may not be aware of is that, number one, a lot of that music uses samples from other music that already existed. Okay? Number two, this music has been around for so long. Like I said, some of these songs are 10 plus years old. Essentially, YouTube has already content ID matched all of those songs. So I'll give you an example here. Right now, if I were to record myself playing one of those remixes, and then I uploaded that video to YouTube, chances are that video would immediately be content ID matched and claimed. And this happens every day. In fact, every single stream that I've done on YouTube over the past few days, there's an archive that I make private because I want you to watch the individual videos. They're much more concise. They make more sense than watching this 5-6 hour block of unedited footage, right? But the archives of the streams all get content ID matched. Every single one has gotten content ID matched for the music. So if I were to leave the unedited streams on YouTube and not do anything else, I would make no money at all ever on YouTube. Zero. No ad revenue at all, because it would all be claimed by third-party companies. Okay? So, that being said, that is why I like to break up the videos, upload them individually, and it avoids any of that. Number one, you get videos that are more concise to what you want. Are you just looking for the pre-stream? You can watch just the pre-stream. Are you just looking for the gameplay? You can watch the gameplay in an ongoing running playlist, rather than, oh, here's the giant unedited stream. Now, I'm well aware there are many other content creators and streamers that do it that way, and I'm not doing it that way. You know, I've done it my way over 12 years. It works. My longtime viewers of the content here on my DSPGaming channel want it that way. Okay? So that's why I'm doing it like that. Of course, sadly, what happens is that does put more taxing use on my computer, because basically I'm streaming and I'm recording at the same time, and therefore it's double encoding, right? If I was just streaming and not recording, I would be able to actually up the bitrate of the stream even higher. I'd be able to probably almost double it, which would be insane. I don't know what the maximum bitrate is here on YouTube, but I'd probably be able to go to like anywhere from, I mean, right now I'm at 8,500. I could probably go to like 15K. And I wonder what the hell that would look like. That would probably be insane. It would probably be like every pixel perfect, right? But the problem there is then there would be no videos. It would just be the raw streams. Now, there is an option on YouTube to take a raw stream and cut it up, all right, and then have those parts go live on YouTube as separate videos. I tried using this the other day. It was terrible. I don't know who coded this thing, but it's obvious whoever did doesn't actually use YouTube on an active basis. So here's what you got to do. Once the stream ends, okay, you have to go into a queue, or excuse me, a editing room on YouTube for that stream. Problem is, let's say, for example, my stream's 5-6 hours long. It could take upwards of an hour or more for that video to even process on YouTube so you can bring it into the editing room. Then once you're in the editing room, you can cut that video up into segments and tell it, okay, make a video out of it. So essentially today with this stream of Returnal, I could cut the first hour of gameplay and then make it a separate video out of the stream. But guess what? It could take hours for YouTube to do that. It says right on it, too. It says this could take upwards of hours to do, so you want to come back later and see if it's done. It actually says that in the editor. Come back later and see if this is done. So imagine I do a 5-hour stream today, right? Including pre-stream breaks and gameplay of Returnal. And then I have to sit at my PC for hours on end cutting this up to make parts to go live on YouTube that likely, because the processing takes so long, could take upwards of 12 plus hours. So imagine not getting any Returnal videos up for like 16 hours after the stream. And then, by the way, how am I exactly going to stream my second stream when it's doing this? You see, like, it's a terrible process. It's an absolutely terrible process. I don't know why they made it like this. I tested it. It was garbage. I was like, wow, they really did not test this for any kind of viable functionality for someone who uses this site to the capacity that I do. If you were someone who every once in a while you casually stream a stream and then you want to cut it up slowly over the course of a couple days because you're in no rush, okay, fine. But for someone like me who every day, twice a day, major streams, pumping out videos, putting out content, this is my business, this is not just a hobby, this is like, it's completely unusable. So it sucks because these options are there, but they're not there to be viable for me. They're there for, I guess, some other kind of a content creator that's not me, because, man, it does not work for my purposes. So I'm just trying to let you guys know I'm working on stuff. I'm trying to make stuff more tenable, more viable. I've explored these different options. Right now, what we're doing is basically the best possible, meaning I'm doing 1080p, 60 frames per second, 8,500 kilobits per second quality. People are telling me the quality has dramatically improved. The only bummer is that last night YouTube had a lot of technical issues. Like, when I finished my first stream, I went to upload, it wouldn't upload. Nothing would work. Everything was errored out on me. Come to find out, YouTube was having major problems last night. During my second stream, which was MLB, right in the middle of the stream, YouTube goes down and no one can watch the stream. Oh my God. It sucks. It's like, how long have I used Twitch full time? 4.5 years, right? The first few days, I decide, oh, I'm going to come over to YouTube and do YouTube streaming full time. YouTube gets all screwed up, right? So let's hope for the best. Let's hope that this does not happen again today. You know, I hope. Let's hope it does not happen again today. I hope that we can have smooth streams. All right. Now, a few things. You may have noticed that we have something new enabled today. It's called Super Stickers. Now, I'm still new to all of this, all right? Super Chats, I guess what it is similar to what bits used to be over on Twitch, where people can do a message. Like, for example, Lucifer Soul gave me a $5 Super Chat just a few minutes ago, and I apologize I didn't read it off right away. Thank you, Lucifer Soul, for that. But now there's something else called Super Stickers, and I guess what that is it's another message that kind of gets stuck, and you can use an emote with it or something? I don't really understand the difference. It's very confusing to me. I'm trying to understand the difference, and it's like, well, I'm just so confused. Seriously. What's the difference between a super sticker and a super chat? They seem to be the same thing. Except, I guess, here you go. So, Liza just did a super sticker, and we've got apparently a Shiba Inu cartoon dog with a headband doing karate punches. So that's a super sticker? But a super chat is just a message, while the super sticker has that animated GIF, I guess? Or GIF, or whatever you want to call it. So I guess both of them are available for you guys now. I didn't have the stickers enabled yesterday, but apparently I did it. Now both are enabled. So if you guys want to contribute in either way, go right ahead. Now also, with these memberships, oh, by the way, Let's Result did another super sticker. Now it's a Shiba Inu that's writing on a piece of paper, and it says number 1. Okay, very exciting. Thank you, Liza for Soul. So confusing. Okay, so also memberships, which is essentially the same as subs on Twitch. All right, we are up to almost 100. I think as of last night, we were at like 92 or something like that. From what I'm to understand, from moving forward now, every 30, I think it's every 30 new members that join, we unlock a new emote slot. So I think at 100, we're going to unlock a new one. And then I think at like 130, 140, we unlock another one. Something like that. It's weird. It's some weird arbitrary thing for some reason instead of like milestones that make sense. You would think like every 25. No, it's like 30 or 40. It's weird. So far, we have 14 emotes unlocked. So the last one that I actually unlocked is Banhammer. So I'm going to show you guys that one. I just typed it into the stream chat. That's the Banhammer emote. We got that one back yesterday due to the amount of people who joined via memberships. So, if you like the channel, if you like the content that I'm putting out, and if you like the fact that I'm implementing all these improvements and changes, please consider becoming a member of the channel. Now, some people have already questioned, gee, Phil, what's the long-term viability of you being on YouTube for streaming? The answer is very strong, because with everything going on with Twitch this week, I'm not feeling too good about ever streaming over there ever again. And I'm going to actually talk a little bit about that, because there's a lot of, once again, speculation, a lot of rumor, a lot of baloney in regards to the video that I put out yesterday, in regards to the email I received from Twitch Legal yesterday. And I would like to talk a little bit about that on today's pre-stream once we get through this earlier segment, because I have some important stuff to say. All right? But that being said, likely I'm going to be staying on YouTube streaming for a while, and or this will be my primary source for streaming for a while, unless something better comes along, or unless something dramatically changes over on Twitch, which I do not foresee happening in any way, shape, or form. Seriously. Okay? So, don't worry if you're thinking, oh man, if I become a member on Phil's YouTube channel, what if he gets his partnership back on Twitch? Is he going to jump right back over there and start streaming full-time again? I have an answer for you. No, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not. Even if the partnership comes back 100% full-fledged today, you won't find me running over there and streaming right away. It's just not going to happen, okay? In fact, what I'm debating is, even if I were to get everything I wanted, likely I would split my time between Twitch and YouTube. Likely I would do half and half, where it would be kind of like, you know, I would do maybe full-time streaming here for major releases. Maybe I would use Twitch as a place to do chill streams and stuff like that, and maybe split it in that way. So, we'll see. See, Mike from Denny says you can't stream both in the partner program. Actually, YouTube allows you to. Twitch does not. That's another issue here, is that Twitch wants exclusivity while YouTube doesn't care. YouTube doesn't have any exclusivity clause or anything. But Twitch does. So it would have to be basically, if I'm streaming on one, right, I can only stream that content on one and not the other. But anyway, yeah, we would see how it works. But like I said, I don't know. What I'm trying to get, the point I'm trying to make is, I'm not going to abandon YouTube now. Trust me, I'm putting a lot of work into this to make this work now. We've got moderators who've come over who are trying to learn the system. We've got all these new things getting set up. I'm not going to just all of a sudden abandon YouTube now because Twitch decides to go back on its terrible decisions, which I don't think they're going to anyway. No, don't feel apprehensive about supporting the streams here, because I am definitely going to be here for a bit. All right? Don't know if I'll be here forever, but I'm definitely enjoying what I'm seeing so far this week. I am. I'm enjoying the stuff that's going on this week so far. The quality increases here on YouTube have been great. The chat is not as good as Twitch's chat, but we're trying to make it work, and I feel like, you know, give it some patience, give it some time, and hopefully what'll happen is over time here, we won't have any issues. It'll end up being, you know, almost as good as how Twitch chat was, okay? Sound good? Okay. All right. Now, let's talk about the schedule of what you guys can expect for today and the rest of the week, shall we? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, today it's the continuation of Returnal. And for God's sakes, please let us actually have some good progress in Returnal today. Because last stream, we almost did, and then Twitch suspended me erroneously for no fucking reason. So the stream went down. I never got to beat the third biome, even though I was on a run to beat it. I actually had a good weapon, and I was getting all the things I needed. I was making a run to the boss, and then Twitch fucking shut down my stream for no good reason. So, basically, the entire last stream was kind of a waste. Not gonna lie. It really was. Like, we're talking 2.5 hours of gameplay. It was completely wasted. Today, I hope for the best. I hope that we can get through this and actually beat the third biome, and then we can move on to whatever's later in the game, because I have no idea what's even coming. We'll have to see. Well, hopefully we get past this baloney. Okay? So, I'm also very curious to see how this game will look on YouTube with the higher bitrate and everything. Because I've been playing it at 720p, 60 frames on Twitch. I wonder if it'll look way better on YouTube. We're going to find out today. Okay? So that's cool. Later tonight, the late stream, as I've already mentioned, will be the return of new Pokemon Snap at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time. We're currently on the island that has the warmer climate, so we already did the desert. We did one run through the volcano. We're going to do that again many times tonight and unlock new stuff. And I don't know, how many more biomes or things are available in the game. You would think there's many more. So I'm excited for that. That is a very chill stream, by the way. That's not a super serious stream. That's more of us relaxing and having fun and seeing cute Pokemon and just having a good time together later tonight. Okay? Matthias just did a super chat, says, hey, Phil, longtime fan. I hope everything goes right here for you on YouTube. It's easier to follow you now. Well, yeah, the cool thing now is everything's in one place, right? Having everything in one place, pretty cool. And, you can watch the on-demand videos. You can watch the streams when they go live. That's a good thing. A one-stop shop for a content creator. And that actually was a harder sell when I went back to Twitch 4.5 years ago to get people to watch the streams in one place and YouTube the other. It was kind of like two completely different audiences, which honestly it was. It was two completely different audiences. The people watching on demand versus the people watching live were completely separate audience, and maybe now we'll actually have some crossover. Yeah, we might. Okay. Now continuing on with the schedule, tomorrow, which is Thursday, will be the continuation of Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which I'm excited for because we finished up the mission of rescuing Liara. And now we're going to figure out, do we want to go to another major story mission or do we want to search the galaxy for some side content? I'm honestly not sure what I want to do yet. But I guess we'll see. It'll be fun no matter what. I'm excited for that. More Mass Effect tomorrow. And then Divinity Original Sin 2. Yes, actually returning to my streams tomorrow night. We haven't played it for a couple of weeks now. But now that we're not so inundated with giant new releases, I can actually play it this week. So that's tomorrow night's late stream. Friday, it will be Nier Replicant continuing on, and we're going to finish up the B-side run and start our either C or D side runs through the game. So that's good. We're actually going to see some new story fleshed out and then jump into some of the bigger alternate endings that basically tie into Nier Automata. So that could be cool. I hope you'll join me for that. And then, we've got Street Fighter, of course, my weekly throwback Street Fighter session, and that's actually going to be on Friday night, okay? So I hope you'll join me for that. That's the usual day and time. Last week we had to do it on Saturday because I had a marathon on Friday, but this week it's the usual day and time. On Saturday, it'll be Returnal continuing again, and hopefully at that point we'll be into a new biome in Returnal, I hope. All right? And Saturday night, something a little different. Ladies and gentlemen, Saturday night is the return of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War to my streams. I've now not played this in several weeks, even though I was playing it so often. I had so much fun with it over the course of the last several months. I put it on hiatus to play the new releases, okay? It returns to Saturday night for two reasons. The first reason is because there's new content this week. Apparently they're adding a new map, and I guess the Rambo skin. I guess Rambo can be played in one of the game modes, so there's a new Rambo skin, which is pretty silly. But in addition to that, I want to see what this looks like now on YouTube in 1080p 60 frames, because I used to only do 720. So will this look dramatically better with my increased bitrate and everything? I'm very curious to find out, because Call of Duty is one of the biggest action games, the most going on the screen at once of any game that I play, and I'm curious to see how this will turn out with the new setup. All right? So that's going to be Saturday night. And then on Sunday, excuse me, my allergies are still bothering me this morning. I woke up and sneezed, and then immediately my throat has been tickling me all morning. It sucks. On Sunday, Mass Effect Legendary Edition continues, and Sunday night will be our weekly Danganronpa V3 stream. Okay. Very nice. So, I hope this sounds good to you. It's a good variety of stuff. New releases on the early streams. Some fun chill stuff on the late streams paired in with some other fun stuff like Street Fighter and Call of Duty, right? Now, next week, there's potential for 2 different new releases. There is Biomutant, and there's Metopia. There's no way I can play both, because I'm already currently juggling 3 new releases in Nier Replicant, Returnal, and Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So the question is, out of all of those games, or excuse me, out of those 2 games, which would you like to see more, Biomutant or Metopia? Or do you think that it's a skip and I should just focus in on the stuff that I'm doing right now and not worry about those games? That's the question. Okay? Let me know. I need your feedback. Now also, please keep in mind 2 events coming up. The very end of this month is the next edition of Ask the King, which is my bi-monthly Q&A show. Please post up your questions for Ask the King by typing !Ask the King into the stream chat. I need more questions. The more questions I get, the better. To make the show better. Also, if you were a patron of mine in the last month and you qualified to get your question prioritized and answered for sure on the show, I have responded to your requests and upgraded your forum accounts. I had several people who wanted this, and they all have been upgraded now. So if you were waiting on that, you should be good to go. You should be able to go to the forums and post up your questions now. All right? So please do. The more questions I get, the better the show is. That's going to be the last week, the very tail end of May. Now, in addition to that, we have a retro replay event coming up. All right? And the retro replay event is going to be me redoing a playthrough that I already previously done in the past with modernized visuals, stream interactions, webcam/facecam, whatever you want to call it, and basically redoing it in a more modern style. Most of the games that you guys nominated are incredibly old playthroughs. So allow me to grab the list again. Yeah, in fact, the most modern playthrough of any of these was 2015, but outside of that, all these other games were played like 2012 or earlier, I believe. So here we go. Ready? The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt, Uncharted 2, God of War 3, Fallout New Vegas, Ninja Gaiden on the Nintendo Entertainment System, Alan Wake, and Resident Evil 6. All right? How do you contribute and or get involved in this event? You need to vote. Type !Retro Replay into the stream chat. The link will pop up. Go over there and vote on what game you want to see a full playthrough of. Whichever game wins the voting, which, by the way, the voting will run for about another week, I would think. Whatever game wins the voting will end up being, number 1, a marathon event. I'm going to be doing a marathon where I play the game for like 7+ hours in one sitting to get a good tear into the playthrough of whatever game gets selected. Okay? And then, on top of that, it will be a full-on playthrough that will be added to my rotation here on the streams. So, good stuff. Please, vote, and vote some more. Please, of course, you can only vote. You can vote for more than one game, but you can't vote more than once, okay? You can vote for more than once. So let's say, oh, man, I really want to see play Uncharted 2. I want to see Phil play Alan Wake and Resident Evil 6. You can vote for all 3, okay? Obviously, don't vote for all of them. If you do, then you've negated your vote's impact. If you vote for every game, that would be really stupid. All right, anyway, please vote, and I will let you guys know what happens with that. I'll be keeping my eye on it over the next week, and we'll see what wins, and that'll become a fun playthrough, okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to support my stream, I've already mentioned you can do super chats, you can do super stickers, you can become a member. But quite frankly, right now, the best thing you could do to support my stream is tip me. Because in the short term, meaning between now and later next month, which would be late June, the only income I'm going to be getting is from tips. Until late next month, when I get paid by YouTube for all of this stuff you guys are doing now, I will not see any impact from it. You see? So I appreciate, listen, I totally appreciate the fact that you guys are becoming members, you're using super chats, super stickers. This all helps a ton. This will help in the long term. But in the short term, I need tips to pay everything. All my bills and everything coming up. Only tips are going to help me with that. All right? So the good news is long term, it looks like we're all right, but I need some help in the short term. If you want to tip, you can type !Tip into the stream chat. You can check the description of this stream. There's many ways you can tip. In fact, what I will do right now is I'm going to pin up the tips link. Here it is. I'll pin this up. This will be the top of the stream. So that way, if you're looking for the tips link, it's right there pinned at the top of the stream chat. and you'll be able to do it on the fly, okay? So, if you tip me, that helps me the most. I really appreciate that. Thank you, by the way, Lycifer Soul, for another $3 super sticker. Fist bump animation. Very weird. It's a weird thing. Yes, so we have goals in effect. If I raise $50 in tips, I'll put on a vest. Excuse me. No, that is completely incorrect. If I raise $50 in tips, I'll put on my gunner glasses. For $100 in tips, I'll put on a vest. Now, yesterday, I wore the red vest. So today, the other vests would be eligible. I think before that, I actually wore the camo vest. So I would say any other vest, beige, platinum, denim, blue, or gray, would all be eligible for today if we do hit $100 in tips on the stream. Of course, the tips goal is $200. If we raise that, that's great. That's going to help me tremendously to pay all my bills and everything coming up. So please consider tipping if you like the stream. Speaking of which, we have one person who tipped so far, and I'd like to shout them out before I get to my final segment of pre-stream. Andre the DJ tipped me $5.19. He says, today marks 15 years since JBL tricked Rey Mysterio into saying May 19, after which Kane came out to attack Rey. Today is also the birthday of my namesake Andre the Giant. P.S. Reminder, don't say May 19. Oops. Uh-oh. Why do I smell hellfire and brimstone? Oh, boy. Anyway. So thank you very much, Andre the DJ, for the first tip of the day. Let's get that on the leaderboard. I think I vaguely remember what you're saying. Very vaguely. I remember that storyline. Okay. So thank you, Andre the DJ, for the first tip of the day. Now, the thing I want to talk about, guys, I'm not going to go at length about this, but I'm going to talk about it briefly. Yesterday, I revealed to all of you that I received a letter from Twitch Legal stating the reason that they terminated my partnership in April was because I had used repeated hateful slurs and hate speech in my content. After an investigation, it was determined that I repeatedly used hateful slurs and hate speech in my content, and they terminated me from the partner program for doing that. All right? I responded by saying, bullshit. Number one, I don't use hateful slurs or hate speech in my content. That's ridiculous. That's semantics is what it is. You're saying, what is considered hateful slurs, hate speech? Well, obviously, racism. Obviously, sexism. Obviously, things that have to do with sexual preference and gender discrimination, right? Things like that. I don't do that. That's not a part of my content in any way, shape, or form. Okay? Never has been, never will be. The one time where I let slip, I got chastised for it many years ago, and hasn't happened since. So, it's bullshit. The thing is, if I constantly was a person putting out hateful content on the internet, I would not be able to stream anywhere. If I was constantly putting out hateful content, I would be banned. Not only from Twitch, but from YouTube and everywhere else. They don't allow that kind of content on their platforms. It's against the terms of service. So how can you tell me I'm putting out hateful content, so I'm banned from the partner program? Oh, but if you're putting out that same content, you're not banned from the site. We allow that. We like that content, just not with a partnership. What? No, it's bullshit. It is. It's bullshit. The whole thing's a cop-out. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, in the last 24 hours since I made this announcement, here come the conspiracy theorists. Here come the people who all want to spin it into something that's completely bullshit and not real. So last time, a month ago, when I got banned from the partner program, it was, oh, Phil, it's obvious why you were banned. It was right in your initial email. You were banned because you upload your videos to YouTube within 24 hours of streaming on Twitch, and that's against the partnership contract. They're just finally clamping down on that. And then the other group of people were, oh, Phil, it's because there was a viewer of yours who you doxed, which I never did. It's complete bullshit, complete fabrication. I never doxed anyone. They made it the fuck up because it was a setup. But anyway, Phil, you doxed a viewer, so that's why they reported you to Twitch and they kicked you out of the partner program. And everyone was so convinced that this is what it was for a month. That's the narrative you heard on every restreamer's stream, on every piece of video about it. Phil got kicked out of the partnership program because he violated the terms of the partnership program in these ways, and there's no other possible way, right? Possible way that there could have been anything else, right? And you were all wrong. I mean, anyone who said that was wrong, which I knew. I knew it was bullshit because years ago, when I used to have a partner contact, you know, it was supposed to be a partner manager, I had multiple phone calls with this guy to talk about my partnership on Twitch. One of the things he said was, don't worry about uploading to YouTube and streaming on Twitch. There is no crossover. It will never be enforced. There's nothing wrong there. It does not violate your partner contract. I was outright told that. Now, to follow along with that, guys, all right, in regards to everything that everyone's saying, oh, hateful slurs and hateful speech, obviously, Phil, every time you ever insult anyone on your stream and call them a moron, a mouth drooler, an idiot, when you talk about your detractors who harass you and you call them mentally ill, you're all using hateful slurs in speech. And that definitely would get you to lose your partnership on Twitch. Okay? Wrong. W-R-O-N-G fucking wrong, stupid. You're wrong. Why are you wrong? I can tell you why. Because guess what? When I had my conference call, again, with this guy, this partner network guy, who's supposed to be my partner manager, we had a specific discussion about what can and can't be done on Twitch. We had a discussion, and he said adult language and generalized insults like that are allowed. In fact, I'll give you an example, because there's one time that I actually did get in trouble on Twitch and I got suspended temporarily. I talked about this publicly at the time, and I'll talk about it again. One time, I was on my stream, and someone came into my stream who I didn't recognize, never saw this guy before, and he was spewing insults about me, okay? I looked at his profile picture, and in the picture was a guy who looked a certain way. I made fun of how that guy looked, and because I did that, I was suspended from Twitch for a day. All right? Pretty interesting. That was against Twitch terms of service. This is just when Twitch had changed their terms of service. I want to say it was like 2018. It could be 2019, but I think it was 2018. Okay? Now, here's the thing. At that time, when I got suspended, I had a call with my partner manager because he wanted to talk about it. And he wanted to let me know, listen, it's not a big deal. We have to do this. It's part of our policy. But you can't make fun of anyone's physical appearance like that anymore on Twitch. They're putting their feet down. You can't do it. It's considered bullying. It's considered hateful conduct or speech. And if you if you insult someone's looks, that is 100% not allowed on Twitch. Now, let me tell you exactly what he did tell me in that call. He said, here's how you can handle it. You can look at that guy and you can say, hey, asshole, stop posting up, hateful stuff. Get the fuck out of here. You're banned permanently. And I'm not kidding. He used this language. He was using the F word and everything. He was like, you can do that. That's 100%, hey, asshole, you're being a jerk, or you're being an idiot, what kind of a crazy person are you to spam my chat with this? Get the fuck out of here, and then ban them. He says, you could do that. The only thing you can't do is insult their looks. Now, of course, if I got more personal, if I start insulting their family members and shit, of course, that's also against the terms of service. But in general, you can use adult language on Twitch. If someone's insulting you, yes, you could defend yourself. You could strike back. That was always allowed on Twitch. How many years have I been streaming on Twitch under the partner program? 8, right? I started in the partner program in 2013. Never did Twitch have an issue with me until April of 2021. So you're telling me it was okay for 8 years, then all of a sudden someone at Twitch changed their mind about being able to stick up for yourself and use adult language? That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. At all. None. I can understand you telling me we had a policy change, we don't want bullying on our site anymore, therefore you can't pick on someone's appearance or whatever. But if someone is doing something harmful to me already, they're insulting me in the stream chat, they're trying to derail my stream with drama, they're trying to insult me or my family members, they're trying to bring up personal shit that they know is against the rules, and I say, hey asshole, get the fuck out of here. Or if someone is literally doing something to hurt me and my family, stalking me, doing fucked up stuff, and I say, hey, that person's pretty much mentally ill, because I can't imagine anyone in their right mind who would act like that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not hate speech. I don't care what you want to speculate or make a conspiracy about. That's not against Twitch's terms of service and never was. I had this direct conversation with my partner manager, and that's what they told me. They said that is all allowed. What you can't do is single out someone's appearance. You can't single out personal information about someone, like their family members and shit like that. You can't do that. If someone actually does something wrong to you and you want to stick up for yourself, you could do that. Of course, you can't say anything about race, you can't say anything about gender, you can't say anything about sexual preference, you can't use any of the bad words, the slurs, but you can defend yourself. Well, are you telling me streaming now, there's no one can ever say anything negative at all? No adult language, nothing. Not allowed, because that's all hateful slurs. Are you out of your fucking minds? Of course not. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That is obviously the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Now, here we go again, these idiots. It's in the terms of service. Read the terms of service. Shut the fuck up. Want to know why you should shut the fuck up? You're the same idiots. Yes, you are idiots. Yes, you are. A month ago, you said, read the terms of service. It says right in the terms of service. You can't upload to YouTube and also stream on Twitch at the same time. 24-hour window. That's what it has to be. See, it's black and white. You violated terms of service. And you were wrong then, and you're wrong now. You're stupid. You jump on bandwagons. You jump on this bandwagon mentality, okay, of, oh, this is what everyone else is saying, so it must be true. And you're wrong. You were wrong a month ago, and you're wrong now, okay? Like I said, here's what I believe actually happened. I could be wrong too. I believe that there are very few instances where I've actually said or done something wrong on Twitch. Maybe I could think of 2 in particular, maybe 3, in the 8 years that I streamed on Twitch, where you could say, wow, Phil really screwed up by saying this, this, and this, okay? I can think of those instances, but those instances are long in the past. None of those happened recently. And what I could think of is, you know, people just keep spamming Twitch with this shit. They keep sending false reports, false bullshit to Twitch constantly about it, to the point where Twitch has to deal with so many reports on a daily basis that they're like, dude, we have to actually look at every one of these, because if we do, we have to make sure that Phil is abiding by the rules of the partner program. At this point, we get so many false reports, we just don't want to deal with it anymore. So kick him out of the partner program. Now we don't have to review any reports. By the way, our other terms of service, which are the general terms of service of the website, those aren't handled by official employees. Those are handled by our moderation team, our admin team, other people, and therefore that's a different service thing, and it won't get all clogged up. You see? But you see what I'm saying? Is you can sit here and you can speculate all you want, and you'll still be wrong. We all thought we knew what happened last month. We were all completely wrong. Who would have thought a month ago it would have been hateful slurs and hate speech that got me kicked out of the partner program? Like, what are you talking about? And again, it's a double standard, because how can you tell me that I'm guilty of this on Twitch, and it gets me kicked out of the partner program, but I don't get moderated at all on Twitch for it, and I can still stream there, right? No problems. I didn't do anything wrong, but now I get held accountable in one way but not the other. It doesn't even make sense. By the way, I should call this out. Previously, when I had issues on Twitch previously for things such as, oh, you violated the terms of service. For example, I talked about bits in a certain way that I wasn't supposed to under the partner program. Or I talked about the guy's physical appearance. I was contacted by Twitch. I was suspended. And then I was told, this is what you did wrong. Learn from it. Okay? I wasn't just, oh, you're outright out of the partner program entirely. It doesn't even make sense. Even if you can argue that I am guilty of this, the way they handled it is completely wrong. You can't tell someone you're just out of everything without even telling them they've done something wrong. I'm sorry, this is so fucked up, and I really hate to do this, but I have to. Alright? This is exactly how everyone mistreats me my whole fucking life. It's called being not passive-aggressive, but not being transparent and upfront. Being dishonest, essentially. Alright? I think you guys can all remember there was a certain situation that happened to me where I was friendly with certain people, and those people had issue with me, and literally never told me. Over a course of years, they allowed this to fester up. Never told me I did a thing wrong at all, until finally they actively decided to start blowing me off and ignoring me, and then blamed it all on me. Even though they never told me I did anything wrong and never gave me an opportunity to improve myself or fix the situation. Alright? So, I want you to think about that. If someone isn't notified they're doing something wrong, how can they ever hope to improve themselves or ever hope to fix the situation? And of course, the answer is they can't. if you don't know that something's wrong or something's going wrong or you're doing something wrong, if you're not told of a violation or told of something you're doing is harmful, how would you know not to do it? How would you know that something needs to be fixed? That's not fair. I don't care about the legality of anything. For a while, let's put aside terms of service contracts. Let's put aside legal agreements between two entities. And let's just talk about morality and what's right and what's wrong. Okay? In life, there's something that's called the letter of the law, and there's something that's called the spirit of the law. All right? The letter of the law means word by word, reading something at face value and only taking it at face value for what's actually written or recorded. All right? If the law says crossing the street here is illegal, it's illegal. 100% of the time, no exceptions. But then there's something called the spirit of the law. The spirit of the law is when you look behind something and you try to find the real meaning behind it and why you have it in place. So it's illegal to cross the street here, but if there was a case when there was an extenuating circumstance and you were being chased and your life was in danger and you crossed the street here, okay, we'll give you a pass. You see what the difference here? Now, if there's a rule in place and there's a violation of said rule, but you never tell someone they violated it and you never actually explain to them what they did wrong, how would they ever get to the spirit of the matter and figure out that they're doing it wrong and improve themselves? You won't. What'll happen is you'll just have them doing it wrong, do it wrong, do it wrong, do it wrong, do it wrong, right? Until finally there's so many infractions pile up or whatever, now you kick someone out of the program, which it seems like if this is the case, if Twitch is what they're telling me is correct, and they're not lying and they're not full of crap, then that's probably what happened here. Apparently Twitch, at some point along the way, in the 8 years that I was under their partner program, changed something and didn't actually concretely explain that or communicate that to me or anyone under the partner program. And then all of a sudden they let people infract, never notify anyone they did anything wrong, so no one knows their behavior is no longer acceptable and they need to change. Then all of a sudden, oh, you're out. Wait, what? But what did I do wrong? Doesn't matter, you're out. That's not, number one, that's not how you operate in life. That's completely immoral. That's not respectful. It's incredibly disrespectful. It basically says we don't give a shit about you. Whatever. Penalize for, you don't care about the person actually improving or getting better. All you care about is, right and wrong on and off switch. Which is a terrible way to go through life. I'm not even talking business-wise, just in general. Can you imagine if you have a friend and immediately you just cut the friend off because they did something wrong, you didn't even bother to talk to them about? Fuck them, just cut them off completely. What kind of a way is that to go through life? That's not a way to go through life, I hate to tell you. People are not perfect. People make mistakes, okay? And the fact is, you need to be told when you're making a mistake so you can fix that mistake. Now, if you're told that you made a mistake and you make absolutely no effort to do anything to improve, then you want to cut that person off, fine. That makes sense. There's some people out there that just can't help themselves from being toxic or being bad individuals. They just keep making the same mistakes over and over. And if that's the case, and you have the right to cut that person out of your life because you feel like they're never going to improve, they're just going to keep dragging you down. You see? That's fine. But for you to have a policy of one mistake, don't tell someone they made the mistake, goodbye, that's one of the most ridiculously stupid things I've ever heard. It's incredibly immature, first of all, because essentially you're saying, I don't even understand human nature. I think everyone should just be perfect. No, that's not how life works. And if you go through life like that, you're going to find you're going to have pretty much no successful relationships whatsoever, because that's not how people are. They're flawed individuals. Okay? Just so you know. All right? Now, if we actually want to get back to the fact of this contract or whatever, that's the partnership contract with Twitch, all right? I signed a partner contract in 2016 that said one thing. Now, Twitch has repeatedly changed the terms of that contract over the years. They did. I remember twice. They twice majorly changed the terms of the contract and said this is different and this is different. However, the responsibility lies on Twitch, not on the content creator. to relay those changes to said content creators and to relay if a content creator is violating said changed terms of the contract. If I was in a contract since 2016 and all the way through 2021, I was never notified of a major infraction except for once I said a bad word, and they did tell me about that, said never do it again, and I never did. Once I insulted someone's looks, they said never do that again, and I never did. And once I referenced bits in a way that made bits feel like they had monetary value, and I was told that's a violation of the partner program, and I was punished for that. Those are the 3 times ever in the 5 years that I was under this contract that they told me that I did something that was kind of wrong per the terms of the contract. I haven't heard from Twitch in regards to anything like that in years. So for them to, all right, oh, now you're violating the terms, you're out. Wait, what? But you didn't tell me I did anything wrong. Maybe you changed the terms to make something that I've been doing all along wrong. You have to tell me. You don't have the right to just then say, we changed something, so now you're a violator, you're out. No, that's actually not how the law works. I never re-signed a contract with Twitch that said, I now acknowledge all these crazy new changes. That never happened. There was never a re-signing of a digital contract. I have a contract in place from 2016. That's the contract I'm held accountable for, period. They don't get to just change the terms on the fly and then completely destroy my partnership because they feel I now violated some new rule. That's not how it works. Sorry, I don't care. The other thing is, this is the other thing that I always find hilarious when it comes to these kind of laws, all right? Just because a website or a business has a terms of service or has a contract in place doesn't mean the entirety of that contract or terms of service is legally enforceable. Right now, there could be a website called streamyourself.com. And in the terms of service of that contract, it can literally say, well, you owe us your firstborn child. Okay? It could say that. And you could sign the terms. And guess what? They don't have the rights to your firstborn child. That's not how it fucking works. That's just not how it works. They could put anything they want in that contract. Just because they put it in the contract doesn't mean it's legally enforceable. A contract is beholden to the laws where a company is actually incorporated. So, for example, if streamyourself.com is incorporated in Arkansas, then there's business laws in Arkansas, all right, that will apply to said business. So if in Arkansas it says, well, guess what? You can't sign away the rights to a child like that, then it's not legal. It doesn't matter if it's in their terms of service. It'll never be legally enforceable. They can't do it. So even though every single company out there has a terms of service that says at any point we could terminate whatever whenever we want, they can't. All right? I'll give you a case in point here. Many years ago, there was a streamer, and I don't know his name off the top of my head. He was one of these guys that was streaming Counter-Strike Go, okay? And he got wrapped up in a situation where he was accused of being involved in gambling for skins in Counter-Strike Go, all right? And Twitch banned him not only from the partner program, they banned him from the site. They outright just said, you're banned. Now, apparently, the guy was innocent. He sued Twitch. Sued them outright. Said, no, I was innocent. I wasn't involved in any of that. You may think I was, but there's no concrete evidence because I never was. There's no way you can say I was because I definitely wasn't. This guy went to court for years and years and years. And he just won. It took him a long-ass time, but he finally just won the case against Twitch. Guess what he won? After I'm serious, it was like over 5 years of litigation, $30,000. So, just his legal fees were more than that. I would hope the guy's legal fees got paid. Because if not, that's really unfortunate. You would hope the guy's legal fees at least got paid. Okay? But the point I'm making is, just because Twitch says in a contract we have the right to do whatever we want, doesn't mean they have the right to do whatever they want. This guy outright said, you terminated me on a false pretense. It wasn't true. I'm suing you. He won. So, that's the point I'm making here, is No, these companies don't have unlimited power to do whatever they want. They don't have the right to just change their terms of service whenever they want and then try to enforce it in a way that's not fair. If Twitch had come to me and said, Phil, we have investigated you, and we have found that you have done these things wrong. All right? We're going to suspend you for doing the wrong, and we're going to tell you to do better. And if you do it wrong again, you're out of here. That is 100% justifiable. Because they've said, okay, we've identified you're doing something wrong per changes that we've made, and here we're identifying it. Here you go. Do better. Fine. Now the content creator has an opportunity to change that errant behavior and become better. That is legal. Not just, I terminate you. Right? So, that's the thing. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are just being incredibly silly in the chat. Oh, you're going to sue Twitch? You should sue Twitch. No, it's not worth it. The thing is, Twitch is not a workplace where I'm beholden to work for them, and now that I'm not working for them, now I'm screwed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can easily stream somewhere else like I'm doing right now. I'm not beholden to be stuck with Twitch, and the way that they enforce is incredibly unfair, and now, oh my god, now I have to put up with it. You know, I'm not. I have the ability to go somewhere else, which I've done. So, sorry, I just don't have the means to start to go after them. As much as a lot of people were like, man, we would really like to see someone stick it to these guys for doing this messed up stuff. Okay? There's nothing you could be really done. A normal guy like me has no ability to do anything. And that sucks. Admittedly, that really sucks. Because you would hope that the little guy would have the ability, but I don't. I don't have years to go to court and go and sue over this. And what am I going to get? $30,000, which is more than or less than the court fees? Right? So what's the point of it all? And the answer is there is no point to any of it. Right? It is what it is. So, sadly, I just got to kind of shrug and say I got to put up with it. I don't want to, but that's my life is, you know, I'm kind of stuck. It's the little guy versus the big corporation. The big corporation holds all the power because they're the ones with the money and the lawyer team. And I'm the one who gets bullied. I'm the one who gets mistreated. Right? And there's nothing I can really do. But I can tell you this. It doesn't matter. It actually doesn't even matter if Twitch comes back and says you actually legitimately violated our terms of service. Doesn't matter. They handled it in the most unprofessional, unfair, and by the way, illegal way. Yeah. It's just not, it's messed up. You don't want to be in a business situation where you can be treated like that. Especially if this is your living, right? It's one thing if I was some kid, this is a hobby. This is my living. This is my job, man. This is what I do for life to provide for my family. Oh, we cut you off just because we feel like it with no justification. Well then, why do I want to be here? Right? Why? You take a month to even tell me what I did wrong, then you provide no evidence that I did anything wrong. Like, enough is enough, you know? And I said this all yesterday, so I don't need to talk about it again. So, you know, the situation is, even if they say I did violate stuff, the way they handled it was completely incorrect and unprofessional and basically immoral. But I don't believe that I violated anything regardless. I just don't. I'm sorry, you're telling me that I can never stick up for myself. If someone comes to my stream and insults me, or someone is doing something that's actually harmful to myself and my family, online harassment, making defamatory videos, I don't have the right to speak up against that? Really? Really? So no one can ever say anything negative on Twitch. Everything has to be fucking horseshoes and rainbows and unicorns, and everything's happy, Lucky Charms over there, right? No one can ever say anything negative because, God forbid, it could be construed as something hateful. Like, what are you talking about? And why would you want to even be there? I mean, why on earth would you ever want to be in a business setting like that? Can you imagine that? This isn't just a hangout. This is a business setting, and this is how they handle themselves. Unbelievable. So anyway, I said my piece. I don't give two shits about the idiots who are coming out there, but you said this, and you said this, and you said this. It's semantics. It's semantics. What you're saying to me is semantics. All right? Doesn't matter if you think I said something racially wrong or, you know, gender insensitive or anything like that, or if you feel that there was something else that had to do with mental illness. None of it matters. What matters is the way they handled it is wrong. That's what's wrong. And I don't believe that I did anything to justify being completely terminated from a partner program, because if it were justifiable, then I would also have been banned from the site. You can't have one without the other. They go hand in hand. If someone's violating such an egregious violation, right, then it obviously means that you don't want that to continue. Why would you allow them to continue on the site but not in the partner program? It doesn't make any sense at all. 0 sense. So anyway, that's my piece on it. And that's that. Some of you will obviously disagree, and that's okay. Right? There's nothing I can do to make you agree or disagree. But that's my take on it, and that's where I'm sticking to it. And that's that. All right, shout-outs. Because a lot of shout-outs have come in here. Or a lot of contributions have come in here. So. Oops, that's not right. Liza sold a bunch of super chats. One of them he said, I'm your biggest fan. Another one he says, since you're not streaming on Twitch anymore, does that mean you have to drop your Twitch Gaming World Championship? Yes, I dropped the belt, sadly. Son Zetro did a super chat and says, I'm dwelling too much and I shouldn't be dwelling as much on this as I am. Fair enough. I just want to get off my chest, get it out of the way, because people, in the last 24 hours, quite a lot of people are talking about this. We're not just talking me, we're talking people in other circles are making videos about it, streams about it, and I want to say this is my take on it. I'm done now, and the thing is, am I expecting within 1 week Twitch to make any action on this? No. So, I'm here on YouTube now. I'm not to say that I'm 100% satisfied with how YouTube is working yet, because of the stream chat and stuff, but we're working on it. We're trying to make it a better place, and I'm very happy that many of you who used to be part of my Twitch community are moving over to YouTube. I appreciate that very much. And those of you who are being supportive as well, I appreciate this very, very much. Okay? Mullah Viking became a member of the stream. Thank you very much, Mullah Viking, for becoming a member. Appreciate that. An anonymous $3 tipper says, I should look into Streamlabs widgets. They will automatically update your tip totals. You can even have a scrolling list of 5 donators and top donators to update automatically. Would help with the need to constantly updating the overlay. For me, updating the names, I want to do manually. Because sadly, if I didn't do that, you would have people who would come on here and be basically saying disgusting stuff. They'd use racist names. They would do all kinds of messed up things. Trust me, if people already think I'm the most hateful guy on the internet and I'm getting kicked out of partner programs, can you imagine if people were able to put up racist names and stuff on my leaderboard, how that would work? Running total could work. But not running, not the names. And by the way, Streamlabs shadow banned me from being able to use tips with no explanation. They also shadow banned Wings of Redemption and many other people, and it never explained anything. They refused to respond to any of our requests for why they would have banned us from using tips through their service. It makes no sense. So, an anonymous $1.30 tipper says, you said you violated Twitch's rules before. You got warnings for it. How many times do you expect Twitch to let you get in trouble and just get a pass? This is your 4th strike? Wrong. That's not how it works. The way it works is you get a warning and then you get an infraction that leads to a suspension. But over time, those things clear up. The only time that you're held accountable for, again, this is all from my old partner manager, who I used to have conversations with about this. The only time that it would be serious is if you keep doing the same thing over and over. Let's say there's someone out there who actually is racist. They just keep saying the N-word on their streams because they're an idiot, okay? The first time, okay, you're penalized, you're suspended. The second time, okay, you're penalized, you're suspended for a longer period of time. The third time, now you're out of here. You see what I'm saying? If you keep doing the same thing over and over, you can be held accountable. The different escalation levels of being held accountable. Not just blanket you're gone for one infraction or not even being notified what your infraction was. There's a big difference there. Okay? Albert Aponte, excuse me, tipped me $1.30, says, how are you feeling today? Well, my allergies are a little annoying, but overall I'm feeling good about gameplay and fun streaming today, so, which we're getting to, by the way. Okay. Let's see here. So, an anonymous tipper says, you know that YouTube can be fickle when it comes to copyright claims and strikes. That's actually not true anymore. Moving forward, are you worried about the effects of moving to YouTube? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Oh, by the way, now he's talking about the stupid dark side fill trademark thing. Okay. I'll talk about that very briefly because it's just such a complete waste of time. It's not even worth talking about. It's really dumb. All right. So first of all, in regards to YouTube copyright issues, YouTube has gotten dramatically better when it comes to copyright over the last few years. Okay? Dramatically better. YouTube used to be terrible. Anyone could impersonate anyone and get away with a false takedown. But YouTube in this regard, at least from my experience, they have gotten dramatically better in the last few years. Now, when they get false takedowns and false copyright claims, they, at the very least, they do attempt to get to a situation where they prove the identity of the person. They're not just blatantly trying to say, oh, this is 100% true no matter what. They're not doing that anymore. I can tell you this for a fact, and here's how I know this. Because I've gotten claims falsely done in my name, and YouTube has reached out to me and said, hey, we need more information to prove this was really you. Can you provide it? And I responded and said, no, it's not me. Someone is trying to falsely do takedowns in my name. Do not grant it. Okay? And listen, I know for a fact, right? There are people who constantly are trying to do messed up stuff to me, including false DMCAs and takedowns. They have affected me on Twitch. You guys know, on Twitch in the last year, several times, my channel was falsely taken down for false DMCA claims. We know that. It happened live during streams, right? YouTube hasn't happened in years. The last time was like 2 to 3 years ago. I got it cleared up within like 3 hours. I just reached out to YouTube support. I said, this is fake. They looked at it and said, oh, fixed it right away. So at least in regards to that, I feel that they have gotten better. They're not perfect. Listen, none of these companies are perfect. But I feel if you're talking a comparison of like Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, YouTube is better now than they used to be at least. And I haven't had issues. Now, I'm not saying I will not have issues, knock on wood. There's always potential that things could fall through the cracks and get terrible. All right? But I don't know, I don't know what's really going to happen long term, but they seem to have improved. Seem to being the key wording here, because again, you never know what's going to happen, or what, every time something looks better or improved or different, and then it all falls the fuck apart, right? But all I can say is let's hope for the best, and let's hope that actually, we're in a situation here where it's not like that, and that things will get better, okay? I hope. You have to hope that things have improved, all right? Fair enough? All right, good. Continuing on. We have someone here who I believe is impersonating Vidar Viking, because I don't believe this is really Vidar Viking from many years ago who used to be a moderator of mine at all. I think this is someone trying to impersonate them, which is, of course, against my rules. You're not allowed to impersonate other people. So unless you can verify you are who you say you are, I'm just going to ignore you. Okay. All right. One or two more shout-outs, and then I think it's break time. Low Carb Madman became a member of the stream. Thank you, Low Carb Madman, for the membership. Tom Willis Show just did a super chat. And he says, shout out to the guy who actually added YouTube to my artwork from like 3 years ago that said Twitch. Yes, we have someone who did that in a few pieces of art, which is nice. DSP, the situation sucks, but you'll be fine on YouTube. The only issue is the chat, and I agree with you that the chat is bad. But we're working on it. Again, the chat is something that I feel can be improved over time. It's just a slow fix. Weeding out the bad actors, putting in security in place with the bot, doing what we can to make it better. And, of course, getting all the regulars from Twitch over here. And, of course, as those regulars become members, right, now we can see their messages easier and stuff like that. So it all goes hand in hand. It's a slow build. A slow build back. All right? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to me. We're going to take a break for me to use the restroom. When I come back, Returnal continues. This will not be a long break, probably 10 minutes max. It's not going to be a giant break or anything like that. I just got to use the bathroom. And then we'll start up with Returnal. Okay? Thank you for being patient. Thanks for listening. I shall return shortly. All right? Thank you. See you in a few.